Hi guys, this is Thomas speaking. Many of you wanted a quick recap of how the new Canyon Stoic rides after watching my unboxing video, and I also like to take the opportunity to compare it with my other bike, which is a Canyon Spectral. This is the 27.5 model from 4 years ago. Of course, I spent a crap ton of money on it with upgrades, Lyric, XP brakes, AXS drivetrain and whatnot. Anyhow, so despite the obvious price differences, Canyon now marked as the Stoic in the same category as a Spectral or even a Strive, marketed as an aggressive hardtail, which could be interpreted as even as an enduro bike or a trail bike. So how does it live up to its name? Well, first impression is very well. Thanks to the 29 wheels, back and front, it rides uphill really well, which is a factor for me. I'm not just a gravity going down the hill kind of guy. I like to do complete circles, and I do quite a bit of elevation. I will put a few of my Strava rides into the description so you can understand where I'm coming from and compare to your needs. So it rides very well uphill. The grip is plenty. The hands damp tires are really nice, and the traction is really good. Also in cornering, the combination of hands damp and Magic Mary probably is the best feature of the bike. The original tires and wheels are top notch, and they are the same for all Stoic models. The brakes, they come with the basic Dior hydraulic brakes. The good thing is that it has a 200mm front rotor and 180 back. It gives plenty of braking performance, especially with the grip of the 29 sticky tires. The only downside is that it's like a two-finger brake, and it's really far from the handlebar, which I think can be adjusted, but it's for me it's a big difference compared to the one-finger 4-pot XT brakes on my Spectral. But overall, braking performance is plenty and well controlled. The wheels, they are pretty heavy, but they seem to be tough enough to take everything you can throw at it. Cornering, yeah, as I said, the Magic Mary is really sticky. Even in damp conditions, you can ride with confidence. What I was most surprised about is the lack of rear suspension doesn't affect me much. I have the 27.5 Spectral, and compared to the 27.5, the 29 gives so much more contact area that the grip is almost the same, even if it's rocky and the wheel is bouncing about. It's through both up and down. One important difference or similarity is actually both bikes have the same distance, same cockpit length as setup, which I came to kind of naturally. It's within a centimeter each. The main difference between the two bikes is the height, the overall height. As you can see, the the head tube of the Stoic is 10 centimeters. It's really short, whereas the Spectral is 17, so it's 7 centimeters higher, and that translates to the height of my seats, which are set for me to be the same, to give me the same length for my legs for pedaling. So as you can see, overall the Stoic can be a lot lower, so it gives you a lower center of gravity. Let me check the bottom bracket height. So it's 28 for the Stoic and 31 for the Spectra, so not that much difference on bottom bracket height. So one big letdown of the Stoic, but it can be expected because it's a cheap bike, is the Suntour fork. If you don't have components like me to upgrade this bike, then I would definitely advise getting the higher end model with the RockShox fork. This Suntour fork is just, I would say, dead on arrival. Probably it's full of grease, quite sticky oil, but in our conditions, which is like 3-5 degrees centigrade, it's so over damped that it's basically doesn't move at all. It's like a dead weight up front. But it might improve as the weather is improving, which is a couple of months to go. But it's just not doing any justice to the bike. Okay, I will do a straight swap with my Spectral front end, putting the Lyric on the Canyon for a test to see how they perform on the same course with the same front suspension, and I will swap the brakes over as well for a test. Okay, so overall, the Stoic is a really good package at an attractive price. One thing I forget to talk about is the drivetrain, because there is not much to talk about. It just performs brilliantly. The 10 speed, it's not so close range as the 12 speed of today, so basically it was good at the get-go. Probably I had to turn the knob like one turn once, and since then it performs admirably even in mud. So overall, it's a really good, I would say, beginner bike who wants to take it to everywhere. It can definitely take the abuse you want to throw at it. If your back is good, you know, I'm not that young, so full suspension has its advantages. It's definitely better on your back riding a full suspension than a hardtail, but with the 29 wheel the difference is not even that big, and I was riding like 30 psi for the start, so it's pretty firm tires as well. So overall I think it's a really good package. The cheapest one probably I would avoid if you don't have spare parts to upgrade the bike immediately. The front fork is nothing to write home about, and also you definitely want to have a dropper post in this kind of bike, because adjusting the height manually in muddy conditions is just a no-go, I think. So a cheap dropper post, or just go for the next tier, which has a dropper post and RockShox fork to start with. Okay, so I think it's a really good bike. It's attractive. I like the bike color. That's also why I choose the basic model. I think that this is how it looks the best. It's your money. Obviously, I have quite a bit of money to spend on bikes. Still, this is a really cheap and cheerful bike. I appreciate a lot, and this will cover my winter riding needs perfectly, which is quite damp and muddy here, and frosty at times. But this bike has plenty of grip with really good tires and a really good drivetrain, which doesn't it does not have any problems with mods or clogging up and so on. The tire clearance are really good with this basic 235 tires. There's plenty of mud clearance, so it doesn't clog up at all. I added some protective tape here and there, but that's the only modification I did. So thank you for watching. I hope I could give you some useful information, and if you have questions, just ask them down below and I will try to answer them. Thank you.